Let's go! Legend! 1, 2, 3, go!
Hi, welcome to episode 14 of the Comic Con Community Podcast. My name's Will, and today I have Eric Olsen, board game designer.
Hey, Will. Thanks for having me on.
No problem, Eric. So, you are a board game designer, and would you like to just tell the people about a few of the board games that you've made?
Sure. So it's still a little strange to think of myself as a board game designer, but in fact now I am a full-time board game designer as of this past June. So as of 2025, I'm a full-time board game designer. So a few of my games, the most well-known game is a card game, a push your luck card game called Flip 7. And some of the other games that I've done, looks like that.
Yeah.
Some of my other games include a game called Glyphics, which is a basically Pictionary except with pieces. I was surprised when I found out that nobody had done that before.
Right.
So that is the one that got me into board gaming.
Right. Okay.
And it's just one of those things where once I made the first game and realized that it got me into this whole new world, right? Like the Aladdin song, it's this whole new world that I didn't even know really existed.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden more ideas for games came because of course I've been playing games my whole life, but I never thought of designing games. And so, from there, I've got a game called Booty Dice, which you might think of as
I'm just showing
a slimmed down King of Tokyo type of a game, Pirate Yahtzee.
Yeah. That's it. Pirate Yahtzee. That is
Pirate Yahtzee.
Yeah.
Right? I've got a game called A Lot of Axolotls, which is a pretty simple color matching game, pretty good for young families, and plus you can play it fast or slow. We call it wild or chill. I've got a brand new game, which I don't think you have over there yet, which is Tally Up.
No, I've not seen that one. No. I mean, to be fair, we haven't got Booty Dice over here either. I did have to buy it from Amazon US, but it took a week to turn up and it was cheap, so I'm not complaining about that. But no, Tally Up. So has that just come out then? Is that your latest?
I hope, like with your Booty Dice there, I hope 2026 is going to be the year that some of my games go international. So just so your listeners know, most of them already probably know that as a game designer, you typically have two routes to go. You can try to self-publish your games or you can license your games. So my most popular game, Flip 7, that is licensed to the op. But a game like Booty Dice, this one is a self-published game.
Right.
And so I'm trying to get some of my self-published games through my little company, Messy Table, my partner Jeff and I, trying to get them over the pond. So we'll see how that goes. This new game,
that sounds tough.
Tally Up, it comes in a tin.
Okay.
And you might think of it as a cross between Flip 7 and Farkle.
Right. Okay.
So you might be familiar with Farkle, little push your luck game that people can play with regular dice. But there's a couple, I like to put a couple twists into things. So the couple little twists are, the big one is this little thing right here. That's it.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So you could think of if you were playing Flip 7 and one person was flipping for everybody.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So you still go around and take turns. One person's flipping for everybody, but everybody gets to decide at the table when they want to be in or out, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So everybody's playing no matter who is doing the dice rolling or the flipping, right? So that's one little thing. And not to go too far down the rabbit hole, but the idea behind Tally Up was I wanted to do a game, and this would have been a little boring, but when people talk about the stock market and having low risk investment and medium risk and high risk,
yes,
right? Balancing the portfolio, and some people want high risk and some people want low risk. Well, that's not pushing your luck. That's kind of choosing your luck is how I think about it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make a choose your luck game. And my original concept had 9 dice. It had 3 low risk, 3 medium risk, 3 high risk, and I had negative numbers on there, So the
On the
low risk,
higher risk ones.
yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah. The high ones you could actually go negative, and as a game designer, and then you go play the games, and you realize, well, people don't like negative numbers, and,
Yeah.
and so this game's taken me the longest of all my games, almost 2 years.
Wow. Right.
In the end, I'm very happy with this. So we have high risk dice at the top, medium risk, and low risk at the
Ah.
bottom,
Right. So no
right?
negative numbers though.
And not 9 anymore. I realized 9 was too many,
Bit too
too
many.
many choices. So those are a few of the games.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of most of them. I must admit, I have seen Tally Up advertised on TikTok. You've done some videos on TikTok for Tally Up.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
We are trying something new. So this is a self-published game, and we got into Walmart,
Yes. Yes.
and it's exciting, but it's also a little nerve-wracking, to be honest.
I can imagine it is.
It,
Yeah.
I held up that in and out token, right? There's two sides to the coin. Well, there's
Mm,
two sides of the coin with Walmart as well. So,
right.
high risk, high reward, I guess you could say, but we're pretty excited, but we're doing everything that we can to try to make the game successful in Walmart. So that even means me trying to make some TikTok. So,
No, I mean,
it's,
I see them on my feed quite often, and they look good. You do a good job of showing your games off. So, and that's what it's all about. It's showing your games, isn't it?
yeah, I can't try to be the 20-year-old and do what the 20-year-olds do. I
No,
just need to
same here.
be myself and talk about the games and hope that it resonates, right?
Well, that's it. I mean, for people around my age as well, it does resonate with us because that's what we enjoy, rather than the 20-year-old
Yeah,
terrible
yeah.
videos that you see. It's you're just explaining about the game and showing the game and explaining how it works and the
Yeah.
description. And this is as you said with Tally Up, it's a mix between Flip 7 and Farkle. So it's it's getting that across. It definitely
Yep.
works. Um,
Awesome.
so you said you played board games for a while. Have you played them since childhood? Have you been like
Oh,
all your
I
life
don't
or
remember. Yeah, I don't remember not playing.
right? So you've always
Right.
been into games.
Oh, definitely. It was just my sister and I when I was little, and we played. What did we play? Gosh, we played Sorry. We played Parcheesi.
Nope, don't know that one.
You don't know Parcheesi? Played. We played. Well, eventually we played a lot of Scrabble. We played Clue.
Right.
Um, you know, gosh, all those types of games. And
Yeah.
then when I got to high school, I got a group of friends and we played a lot of card games. We played some other stuff, maybe some Risk and things like that, some Stratego, but we played a lot of card games. And a lot of the time we were playing an old game called Rage, which is a trick-taking game.
Hmm.
But it's called Rage, like like the Hulk.
Like
I'm
anger.
angry
Yeah.
because instead of 4 suits, there's 6 suits, and there are cards that change the trump. So there's one that changes the trump. So you have to call how many tricks you think you're going to take, right? So you start with 10 cards, and maybe you call 2, or you call 3, or you call 0,
Hmm.
and you could be a really good card player, and you could call your hand perfectly, and then on the 6th time around, all of a sudden Trump goes from blue to yellow, and
Right.
you
And you're in trouble.
anyway. So we also played a lot of poker and variations of poker,
Right.
and as a matter of fact, that's where the idea for Flip 7 came from. Was a game that one of my friends made up all the way
Wow.
back in high school.
Wow.
Yep.
So it's been around quite some time, or a
The-
variation of it.
I didn't realize that it had been kicking around that long, but
Yeah.
when I thought about it, I'm like, man, that was so much fun. That game that we played back in high school. I wonder if I can gamify that game.
Hmm. So it's just been sat in the back of your head for all these years, waiting to come to the front and yeah, make its appearance. And it
Yeah.
has done. There's a few different versions of Flip 7 now. So There was a Grinch version over Christmas. Was that a Walmart special, or was that
So
was
that was a Walmart special, but this next Christmas, I believe it will be everywhere.
excellent?
Um, Again, I'm not in
Everywhere
charge
in
of
the
all that.
States or everywhere like worldwide? Am I likely
I
to get a
don't,
copy of this?
I don't know, but I have one I can send you. So,
Oh, amazing.
you know,
And
um,
there's the new one, isn't there? Vengeance. Is
so
that
Vengeance
is that the latest
is
Flip 7?
just while we're talking, it's going out.
Right.
So brand brand new. I am happy to say that I did get to work. The op asked me to do some work on that game. And one of the things that I'm really happy with is a couple of my old concepts that were in the original game that I gave to the op that they removed,
Right.
they've put back in.
Oh, good.
So I'll just give you one. I'll give you an example, but here's the main example. I had a card. I did have a zero, so I make fun of the op putting the zero in. So if you've played the
Yes.
game
Yeah.
and you explain the game, 9 9s, 12 12s, 4 4s, 0 0. So my game didn't have a zero in it, but it had a card. One of my action cards had a zero on it, and underneath it said steal.
Oh, right. Okay.
So if you receive that card, you would look around the table, and it was basically a steal and a swap. I guess you could think of it as both.
Right.
So I could give the card to you and take your 11 or whatever I want. You would be
Right.
stuck with that zero, and I would get your 11. You couldn't bust with the zero. Basically, I was just getting to get the free choice of whatever card on the table
Yeah.
that I
Yeah. You
wanted.
can pick
Right?
anything. Yeah.
It's a great play. I
Yeah.
mean, my friend absolutely loved it. We played it that way for a year. So I'm happy to see the op split that into two different cards. Though there's going to be a steal card, just a straight steal.
Right. So you don't give them the card. You
Nope,
just
just
right.
a straight steal. And there's going to be a swap card. Now the swap is brutal because you can swap any two players' cards.
Right. Causing somebody to be out if you give them
Two,
a card that they've already
two
got.
somebodies. You could cause two
Yes.
somebodies if you were lucky.
That is harsh. I can see why it's called Vengeance now. So it's a lot more
Lots of
interactive than I mean
we'll
the
see.
current one is interactive because obviously you can flip three on somebody or you can freeze somebody, but this brings it to the next level of
It
brutality.
it really does. In the current version, if you choose to stay when your turn comes, you're safe. You could go ahead and score your points, right?
Yes.
So if you
Yeah.
say I'm done, I just want to bank my 30 points, you can do that.
Yeah.
In the new game,
Oh, even if you're frozen, even if you've
even if
stuck,
even
somebody
if you chose to stop, you could get a card, for example, called just one more.
right, and
So
that just pushes a card onto
yeah,
another.
we'll see what people think.
Yeah, that sounds really good. I'm looking forward to getting a copy of that. I'm not sure if it's available over here. I think I might have seen it online, so
By the
I'll
way,
be
Will,
keeping
I'm
out for that.
looking forward to getting a copy of it myself. It's I don't even have mine yet. I know some of my friends have already gone out and found one, but I will get some here at some
Right,
point.
you've
So
not got one yet,
I don't have one yet. I have an early prototype of it.
but you don't have time to play games anyway. You're too busy making them, so So is that the
Uh,
only game that is licensed out of yours then, Flip 7, or have you self-published all of the others, or did you go down the
so
licensing route of...
that's a great question. I'm about 50-50 right now. So Flip 7 is licensed to the op, and Glyphix, the one I told you about, the Pictionary with pieces. As a matter of fact, um, the company that originally had Glyphix
Right.
unfortunately went out of business, and I got the rights back, and
Ah,
I relicensed it to the op.
right.
So it's kind of like Pictionary. There's words on a card, and then you
but
have
you
about
get little pieces.
Yep, and then you try to use the pieces to make the words, and it's actually quite a bit harder than it looks because I went through the old Pictionary words and I'm like, yeah, we need to update this, and
Yeah, yeah,
and so on purpose, a lot of the words are pretty difficult. Um,
right.
but we decided we should put in some easy peasy cards, some starter cards. So
Yeah,
we put in a few of those. So if people are new or maybe they're playing with their kids, you
yeah.
know,
Don't make
and
it too difficult.
the kid doesn't know how to make the Taj Mahal, so that's
No,
fine.
I wouldn't know
Give it
how to make the Taj
right.
Mahal, let alone the kids.
So so anyway, that one's licensed. Flip 7 is licensed. I just licensed. I should say I licensed it a while ago, but we just announced that we've got a game coming out with Rose Art called Blooming Bouquets. So there's the
Oh,
back,
okay.
and this is
Right.
so it's kind of like a gentle rainish type of game where you're rolling asymmetric dice that have flowers on them, and you're choosing from flowers that are on the table, and you're trying to create these vases full of flowers. But the different flowers, they're not all the same amount of points, and they're not all available at the same amount. So you have to kind of pick and choose which ones you want. So I'm excited because this game is coming out at Gen Con.
Right. So you can pick that. Is it actually released on that weekend of Gen Con?
Yep, yep.
Amazing.
And I licensed another game with Relatable. Relatable's most famous for the game What Do You Meme? But I can't even tell
Yes.
you what can't even tell you what that game is yet. I'm hoping it's going to release in the fall.
Right. Still in
And,
still in pipeline, is it?
yeah, and then I've got a game that's pretty far along the Mattel process, but it's Mattel. Their process is a process, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, so it's going. So we'll see how it goes. So that's on the licensing side, and as a matter of fact, I'm actually working with a couple European inventors.
Okay.
One of them is Gareth. Do you know Gareth?
No.
It's interesting. I see right behind you, one of your games there is Firefly, the game.
Oh yes. Yes. Firefly.
I, he and I are both science fiction fans, and it was
Right.
funny that Firefly came up. He had just mentioned that to me a week or so ago. The other inventor is Christian Kudel. If you know the game Agent Avenue or Mind Bug, either
Mindbug
of those.
sounds familiar. Yeah.
So he and I are working on a game together. And as a matter of fact, I'm pretty lucky. I'm going over to France. I'm coming over your direction
Oh, yep.
next
So
week.
close.
Yep, so close. And he's going to be there, and we're going to be pitching a concept that he and I have been working on together.
Right.
So that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
And then so that's on the licensing side, and on the self-publishing side, I showed you Tally Up. That's the
Yep.
spring release, I guess you could say. And then this one
Well, okay. This
is
looks like early development because it's in a bag still, and it's
well,
not in a box.
I don't have the box yet, but these cards are pretty close to final.
Yeah.
And I just love how the artwork came out for these.
Ah, right. Yeah.
Show you one more.
Right. Yeah. I like it. Looks good.
So this game's coming out in the fall, and this is a self-published game, and I'm excited. This one is going to start off in Walmart, and then it will go. So that's called an exclusive. Walmart asked for an exclusive, and we thought we will try doing that because my partner and I, when we started self-publishing, we decided we were going to do e-commerce. And and that mostly is for us Amazon, but it could mean TikTok Shop or Etsy or whatever. But
eBay and the like. Yeah.
yeah, but we can control that.
Yeah.
And this last year in 2025, for the first time, we got a distributor, and
Right.
we've been working with the distributor, and the distributor is trying to get us into brick and mortar stores,
Hmm.
and that's how we ended up getting the relationship with Walmart.
Right.
And so that whole part of things is new,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So that so normally, like when we did this game, we released it on Amazon. When we did
Yes.
this game, we released it on Amazon. Um, Tally Up is the first game that we're releasing not on Amazon.
Right.
So,
Is
so
it
we'll see
going
how,
to be on Amazon as well?
not
Or
till
I
not
mean,
till a
what
year from now, a whole
really is
year.
that how long it is? So Walmart have got the exclusive for a year, and then
Yep,
after that 12 months, you're then free to put it online.
yep. Well, it's an experiment.
Right.
You know, it's a good opportunity,
Hmm.
but we're also giving up all of our Amazon sales to try it.
Yes, it's a gamble. It's a gamble, I suppose. But
Gamble.
you've got to. I mean, Walmart are absolutely huge, so you've got to look at it that way. You
Yep.
know.
We thought we'd give it a try and see what happens.
Yeah. So in terms of like them saying you're not allowed to sell it online, is that just in the States? Would you be able to sell it online in other countries?
So that's an excellent question, and we are able to do it in other countries.
Right. It's just
So
finding that way
it's a
of
matter of
doing it.
yeah. We This is my first launch that I've had where I've already had half a dozen international uh, distributors reach out to me
Wow.
saying
Right.
that they're interested in localizing the game. So, um, but I did double check with Walmart just to be on the safe side. But
Yeah, you don't want to go. Yeah, you don't want to go breaking any contract rules. That would not be good.
yeah, you don't even want to break the unwritten rules, right?
No.
Of
Yeah, just
you know
best to
just
check.
just doing good business. Um, so we'll see. I'm excited. I'll be in France next week for the FIJ, and um, I'll have some tally up games with me, and I've already sent a few off here and there. So we'll see. We'll
Right.
see what. It's good interest so far. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, that sounds really good. So, in terms of your games, how do you go around playtesting them? Obviously, you've got yourself to playtest them. You've got a group of friends that play games. Do you have like a certain group of people that will playtest all your games, or do you go recruiting playtesters? But obviously,
Well,
playtesting is really important when it comes to board games.
to me, it's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Um, all my games have been play tested, play tested, play tested, play tested. There are a lot of really good games, but there's less great games. I'm not saying all my games are great. I'm saying that that's my goal.
Hmm.
That's what I'm trying to achieve. And the best way that you can do that is to play it with as many people as possible of different genders, in different ages, in different environments, and just collect all that feedback and watch the reactions. You know, um, and I'm waiting for people to say, "Oh, I want you to bring back that game we played last time. Did you bring that one?"
Yeah,
That's what
you've
I'm
got a good game then.
so I've got a couple groups. I'm a musician also, and so I've got my music friends are a great playtesting group for me. I've got my neighbor group. I've got my 17, almost 18-year-old son. His friends, they're a fantastic
Hmm.
playtesting group because I can say, well, you guys, what would you change? What would you add? What do you think of this rule? What do you think of this rule? We'll sit there and play the same game 4 or 5 times in a row with different variations,
Right.
trying to,
See which
trying
one
to
I
figure.
enjoy the most. Yeah.
Yep. And then I've got my friends that my Bacchus, we call ourselves Bacchus, but we get together once or twice a year. But we also get together online and we play on BGA. And every once in a while, if I have a game on Tabletop Simulator that I'm trying to play test and I want their advice or feedback, some of them will hop on TTS with me and we can play test it that way too.
And do you create your own games on TTS, or do you have somebody do it? Because you have to, you have to create all the elements, and it can be quite complex. Do you have somebody do that for you, or do you
I've got two
spend?
friends. I've got two friends that will do it for me.
Right, that's good.
Yeah, that's
And
really good. I
yes,
don't know how long it would take me, but
yeah, it's not the. I mean, it's a great platform for playtesting games on, but it's not
yep,
the easiest to use. Not like BGA where it kind of does everything for you. With Tabletop Simulator, we were just discussing this last week. Actually, we were playing Wingspan at my board gaming club, and we played it on TTS once, and we were trying to drop the dice into the bird dice tower. The
yeah,
bird tower.
yep,
We
yep.
couldn't get the hole. We couldn't hold it above the hole to see it. So the dice kept missing the hole, and they were rolling all across the table. And it was like, this would be so much easier.
On
If it
the
was
other
just
hand,
click a button and it just did it.
BGA makes some games so fast and so slick that
Yeah.
like Puerto Rico,
Mm.
like playing a game like Catan or Puerto Rico or even Seven Wonders on on BGA speeds the game up because
Yeah.
it's automatically dealing, it's automatically scoring, it's automatically checking off whose turn it was or what they did, and
Mm.
um, you could get a little addicted to it,
I think it's good for a quick board gaming fix, but it doesn't replace actually meeting up with a group of friends and actually playing a board game. But during COVID, we played a lot on BGA and TTS, and we had Discord. So, we'd still do our Thursday nights, but we'd chat on
Yep.
Discord. And what we did find is when we were sat talking that the games were quite slow because it was like, you'd sit talking and they were like, whose go is it? And it's your go, So it was a great replacement, but nowhere near as good as the actual real thing.
Yep.
But
I
oh,
had a similar experience, very
right
similar.
on
Yep.
Board Game Arena,
Yep.
yeah, it's great. I mean, I love it. And considering it's free as well, obviously there's a premium membership, but there's so many games on there, and Flip Seven's one of them. So, what other games of yours are on Board Game Arena? Because I know Flip Seven
So
is.
Flip Seven, just 2 days ago, I think it was 2 days ago, won the 2026 BGA award for best casual game,
Wow, right, that's
and
amazing.
it has 1 million plays.
Wow,
Pretty
wow,
crazy.
that's a
Now,
lot. Yeah,
I actually just posted on LinkedIn yesterday or the day before, just about BGA. So this is good timing for this conversation. Just like I never thought of making my own board games, I never thought of putting my games on BGA. Now I've been playing on BGA just like you before COVID. I mean,
mm,
I've got friends across the country. We do a Zoom or a Google Meet and we get on and everybody has their drink and we talk and we play games, right? But I never thought of putting my games on BGA. I don't know why. And
yeah,
then the op put Flip 7 on there
right,
and it took off. And I'm like, huh, why not do that?
yeah,
So,
yeah,
so last year I reached out to the developer who did um, Flip 7, and I said, well, can you do my game Booty Dice? And he said, well, I'm 6 months out, but yeah. And I said, that's fine. I don't care. So I've learned about this process, and we sent him all the files and the rules and like a playthrough. He creates the game. Then my partner and I go back and forth with him, tweaking things, getting sound effects. This is wrong. Maybe even updating what the dice look like and that type of thing. When we get it so that we think it's mostly there, we go to this alpha testing. I don't know why it's not beta, alpha, beta, but whatever. We go to the next level of testing,
yeah,
and then only select people can test it
right,
there.
yeah,
And then you need to get like 10 approvals or 15 approvals or something. Then you can go to that beta testing, which is the last one before it goes live. So there's a process that you go through, and then when you do go live, they do a launch for every game that
right,
goes on there. It's kind of cool. They have a little news article, and
Yeah,
they're like, "Hey,
I've seen
the
it.
game
Yeah,
that's on
yeah, at
today
the
is,
top of the
you know,
page.
whatever."
Yeah,
And so it's kind of cool. Like, you know, Booty Dice isn't as popular as Flip 7, um, but there's over 10 million, 10 or 11 million subscribers on BGA, registered users. So people treat it, I think, like a game library. It'd
mm,
be like somebody walking with all your games there and being like, "Oh, today I'm going to try Dominion. You know, tomorrow I'll try Herd Mentality." Right? So because they can play, like you said, they can play for free.
yeah,
So we just went live on January 11th,
right.
and we've had over 50,000 plays
That in just over a month. I mean,
in just over
that
a
is a
month.
lot. Yeah,
And we've seen a little boost in our sales, and it's kind of cool. So we got smart, and with this game,
yeah,
we started the process before the game even launched because we knew it would take 2 to 3 months.
yes, yeah,
So we only have 3 or 4 of those approvals left, and this one will go to beta.
right.
So it should launch on Board Game Arena right about the time it hits stores in Walmart.
That's exactly what you want. That's perfect. Yeah,
Which is
it's
what
like a
we're
try
looking.
before you buy, isn't it? You know, you can try it on Board Game Arena, and if you like it, go out and buy it. You know,
And if you don't like it, it doesn't hurt the publisher.
no,
So it doesn't hurt me, right? If you,
mm,
you know, if you go on and you try, you know, whatever Castle combo or whatever game you want to try, and just like, you know, Kickstarter, where there's more and more games all the time, on BGA, there's more and more games all the time. But there's nothing wrong with that,
no,
right? So people go on, they look through the games. BGA does a nice job of kind of categorizing into, you know, oh, you want 2-player games? Here's some 2-player games. You want casual? Here's casual. You want something a little, you know, a little meatier? You know, then you look at these ones, and people just go through and they can play for free and kind of there's tutorials on
yeah.
all of them. A lot of them also have people that for free go on, translate into French, translate into German,
Oh,
translate
really?
into Italian, and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, I do like. I mean, the other thing I like about Board Game Arena is the ability that, well, a lot of games will play on your mobile. So you don't need to be on your PC. I mean, obviously for the bigger games like the worker placement and the Euro games, you need to be on a PC or maybe a tablet. But you can play a lot of the smaller games like Flip 7 and Parrot and Cap'n, which is one of my favourite games at the moment. You can just jump on the mobile site or the mobile app
I think
and
I
just have a
think you
game.
can. As a matter of fact, let's see if I can. I'm I'm actually playing Booty Dice on my phone with a couple of my Instagram
Ah,
friends.
cool. Right.
So there it is.
That
There's the
works.
roll.
Yeah, that works on your phone. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Looks good
on
as
the
well.
phone.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's good that, I mean, obviously for a lot of the bigger games, you need to get your laptop out, and there's just not quite enough space. But
No.
that looks like it works, and Flip 7 certainly works. I
Well,
know I've played a
it
lot of
works if I grab my glasses.
that. Yes, put your glasses, then you can see what you're doing. So do you at the moment do you play any of your own games? Once you've made a game, do you actually spend time playing that game, or do you just kind of play other people's games?
you know, I've done a lot of music and I love to sing, but I don't like listening to recordings of myself. I'm sure you've heard that
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
I don't mind playing my games, um, but I usually wait for somebody else to make the suggestion because it feels strange to me to walk in and be like, "Hey, let's
Look what I
let's
made.
look
Yeah,
what I made. Check it out." So,
yeah,
but I'm relentless on asking people to play my prototypes.
yes. Which is
I mean,
which is what you need, because that's not
yeah,
just for fun. That's actually
I have no pride.
production.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I'll beg people to beg people to play. Um, I have my favorite games just like everybody else. We were chatting earlier. I think Alhambra is almost a perfect game except for the colors. I think they should have made a little distinction
Yeah.
between the colors of the money and the colors of some of the properties. But it's a beautiful game. Azul is a beautiful game.
Yeah.
We've been playing some Castle Combo lately, which I like. Far Away is fun with different type of mechanic. I've played Seven Wonders a bazillion times. Uh, but I also like, I don't know, really like that game Rage I was telling you about at Old
Mm,
School, or
yeah.
even a simple game like Can't Stop. You
Oh,
know,
I love
I,
Can't
I've
Stop. Yeah.
I've played Ink and Gold a little bit. I would take a game like Ink and Gold and some other games, and I like to tweak them a little bit to make it more like how I would if I would have made the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, yeah, there's so many games out there, and as again, you and I were talking a little earlier, I do not have the same size game collections as a lot of people that I've been getting in, that meeting at board game conventions and stuff over the last couple of years. So it's really expanding my horizons, and I'm starting to play more games, which is great.
Yeah. I mean, what you've got to appreciate is that I've probably got over 100 games here, but I only play about 5 of them. And the others just sit on the shelf because I only play once a week on a Thursday night. I run a board gaming club. I've run it for over 10 years now, and all of the members have their own games as well. So between us, we've got thousands of games because we usually have between 20 and 30 people turn up each week. And, it's very rare that I'll actually play one of my games. And when I do play one of my games, it's usually one that I've played in the past few months. So I may have a lot, but they don't get played.
You, you
But
know,
but will I sell them?
it,
No.
it's tough, and the longer the game, the less, the harder it is to get it on the table.
Yeah,
Um, and
like
if you're
Firefly.
playing, a lot of groups have one or two people that have somebody that isn't as flexible learning new games. It's like, oh, that some of us that play games a lot, pick up the rules fairly quickly because we've played a lot of games, and we kind of can compare it to some other games that we've played or whatever. But some of my game groups, that's harder. And
Mm,
I'm lucky. Most of my games are fairly simple to pick up. But even with fairly simple games, sometimes people only have so much bandwidth, and people
yeah.
only have so much time. Like you said, you're playing once a week, you've got maybe 3 hours. Everybody brings 5 games. And then if you start chatting,
Which we do. Yeah, it's inevitable. The first 20 minutes of games night is usually standing around talking about what we're going to play, talking about what we've done over the last week, talking about this, and then slowly people say, "Oh, I fancy this," and then one group will go and sit down, and then there's still a few more people stood around, and the numbers because we've got a kitchen there, and everybody gets a cup of coffee and some biscuits, and it is a very slow start, so we usually don't start for 15 to 20 minutes.
are you at
Which
somebody's
eats
house?
into it.
How many?
No, I'm a scout leader, so like the Boy Scouts, and there's a scout hut just around the corner from us, which is where I'm a leader at. So it's quite big, so we can fit probably 12 tables in there, each with 4 to 6 seats around them. So we can, we can certainly put on a games night for a lot of people. We usually get between 20 and 30 people turn up. So
Wow.
so it's a good, yeah. I mean, it's been going for over 10 years, but it's only been the past couple of years, thanks to social media, that I've managed to bring new people in, and a lot of the members are brand new. I did a like introduction to board games night, beginners night of just before Christmas, and we got 7 new people turned up, and most of them have been back, but they're all brand new to board games. So, we
Wow.
usually start off with Machikoro. I don't know if you played Machikoro, but it's a very basic
Yep.
roll some dice, get some money,
Yep.
buy some cards. Love it.
Start with
One of
the
my
one
favorite
die,
games.
eventually add the second die, right?
Yeah, yeah. And
Yep.
with the Harbour expansion as well, because the game on its own is average, but if you add the Harbour expansion to it, it just brings it up to the next level.
Oh,
So
well, I haven't tried the expansion, so I'll have to try it. I do have
yeah,
Machikoro. Haven't played it recently. but we did play it quite often when it came out.
Yeah, it's a great game and it's good for beginners. So I'll usually take that if I know new people are coming in, and we'll have a game of Machicaro. So yeah, that's one of my go-to games for beginners. And of course Flip 7, because everybody loves Flip 7. I'm not sure how many exactly, but there is definitely 3 or 4 copies at games night. Usually I've got a copy, and then this person will bring their copy, and somebody else will bring their copy. So there's always a few copies just knocking around. My D&D, we have a few Dungeons and Dragons groups as well, and they finished early last week, so they got out Flip 7 and played that for the remainder of the evening.
My daughter is 20. She DM'd for 2 years her group, and then she went off to college, and they played on their laptops. They did what we're doing in a meeting, and they continued to play.
Excellent.
And another one of my friends here in town, part of my Bacchus group, he has a regular, weekly D&D session. I mean, it's as popular maybe as it ever was, if not more popular.
It is at the moment. I do every Monday night, a local game shop. They run it every Monday and Friday, and they always have at least 3 or 4 tables on each Monday. It's great. It is. People love it.
My daughter,
everybody says Stranger Things, which it probably is, but that's fine. That's fine.
My daughter actually pays via Patreon to listen to a D&D podcast.
Wow.
That she loves. She thinks they're hilarious. She loves listening to their thing, and she draws fan art for them.
Wow.
I mean, it's a big thing.
It is, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Do you play D&D, or have you played D&D?
Oh, I haven't played in a long time, except on vacation, on our last family vacation. My daughter made us promise that we would set aside 6 hours to do a what does she call it? What's a one-shot campaign?
Yeah.
Right. So we did the characters. My wife played. I played. My son. The 4 of us played. She DM'd for us. It was a lot of fun.
Good. Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun, and again, it's just about getting out and getting a group of people around a table, which is what board gaming is all about. So what is your current, and you're not allowed to say any of your own, what is your current favourite game? And I ask this to all the board game devs that I have on, but I always do say you're not allowed to say your own game. So no Flip 7 on there.
That'd be a terrible thing to say, my own game.
You'd be surprised. It is up there, though.
A couple games that I played. So a game that I'm actually looking forward to playing again is Agent Avenue. It's a 2-player game, and I've only played it 3 or 4 times, but I'm kind of waiting to play it again. I want to play it again. There's a little board, and I love this. There's a couple really, really clever twists about it that I just really like. Instead of you and I racing on a track or on a board, instead it's an oval, and I'm trying to catch you and you're trying to catch me, right? So if one of us catches the other, you will win the game. There are also a couple card conditions that will allow you to win. And so I've got my set of, I don't remember, I think it's 5 cards, and you have your 5 cards. And when it's my turn, I put 2 cards on the table, one face up and one face down. You can choose whichever one you want.
Oof. Right.
And you have to play it. And I get the other one.
So it's whether you're bluffing and you've turned over the good one, or if you've turned over the one that's not so good. That's a bit of a gamble.
Yeah. And then there's certain sets of cards in there that give you different points moving around that board, right? Some of them stack, kind of like Sushi Go. So if you get the first one, it's maybe not very many, but if you get another one, it's going to move you more. And then if you get another one, there's some that start off negative, but if you get a second or third one, give you a really big boost. There's also
which is a
one.
gamble.
Yep. There's also one card that if you get three of them, you automatically lose.
Oh, right.
And there's one that if you get three of them, you automatically win.
Ah.
So those are the other two conditions. So you
Mm.
can either catch somebody on the board, and it only takes 5 or 6 minutes to play the game.
Right. That's good. I was just thinking because we don't get to play many two-player games at Games Club because obviously there's always a table of 3 or 4
Yeah.
minimum. But it would be if a game is that quick, then you could easily have a game of it in between
And
games or while you're waiting for people to turn up or something like that. So that
yep,
might
or
be,
do a little round robin, something,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah, winner stays on kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. I might have to have a look at that. Did you say that was made by somebody that you are collaborating with?
Well, I didn't know at the time. I he introduced himself when I was at Essen, which by the way was amazing, and I'm going to go back next year and hopefully every year was amazing. And we touched base. I don't know in November, December, and we thought maybe it would be fun to do a game sometime, you
Hmm.
know and then so I looked him up and found his games,
Like you
and
do.
and Agent Avenue is Mindbug was an earlier game of his, and it's done quite well. But Agent Avenue is doing really really well right now, really well, especially in Europe. It's pretty popular. Um, and then he said he just did a throwaway line in an email. He said, I've always wondered, how long it would take if you had two dice and I had one, and we were rolling against each other before my one die could beat your two dice. That's pretty easy concept, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, so I've made a game from that, and so now it's a collaboration between the two of us. But I took his idea and kind of ran away with it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so we'll see what happens.
Is that the kind of things that board game developers email to each other? I wonder how long if I roll two dice. The secret
Uh,
contents of the emails between board game developers. But no, I mean that's how good ideas come about, isn't it? It's just
you
a
never
little
know where the
suggestion.
inspiration is.
Yeah,
My inspirations come from all over the place. Some of it is through actual exercise, like on purpose, and a lot of times it's not on purpose. So Flip 7, I was inspired by a game that my friend made in high school. My let's see, my Glyphics game, where the Pictionary with pieces, I just happened sitting around the kitchen table, and there was stuff on the table that I just rearranged and had my kids. It was during COVID, and I said, can you guess what I made? And then they started rearranging the pieces on the table, just junk on the table.
yeah.
And on the other hand, this game, um, I had a drive. My son and I were driving. Idaho is a big state. We had a couple hour drive. And I'm like, hey, buddy, I want to take the first 30 minutes and I want to brainstorm things that we could do with dice, games that we could do with dice that don't have numbers on them.
Yeah.
What else could we do? Anything except numbers on the dice. And that was the beginning of this game and another game that I'm we'll come back to
Is
at
that
some
one you're
point.
not allowed to talk about yet?
Well, it morphed into another game, but I want to go back to the original game. It was pretty simple, but so that one was a little bit of an exercise because I felt like the competition in the dice. So dedicated card games, they're called dedicated card games, like Taco Cat, Goat Cheese Pizza, Flip 7, Uno, gosh, Spot It. I don't know, those types of games. The competition is pretty fierce.
Yeah.
And so a lot of companies had a chance at Flip 7.
Right.
It was taken to Mojo 3 summers ago, and over 20 companies looked at it. All of them wanted a sample. All of them said they were interested. None of them made an offer. And I actually said, if I don't get an offer by January, I'm going to do it myself. So I started doing it in January, and the op came to me in February.
Yeah.
I had already paid an artist. Like I was
Right.
I
Ready to go.
believed in the game. I was ready to do it myself. No big deal. But the point is that people were scared that these are big publishers with lots of money. Everybody was scared to do a dedicated card game because the space is so tight.
Yeah.
And I think the main reason is because your Targets and your Walmarts would rather take the 10th Exploding Kitten game
Yeah.
than take a chance on a new game.
Yeah.
Right? Now, when the buyers change, sometimes the attitude changes, and there creates some room for some, but you've seen it, like Uno No Mercy.
Yeah.
It's
I just got that for Christmas for my children. They asked for it for Christmas, so
of course they
we've
did.
got that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't enjoy it. It just goes on forever, and
but it's a safe bet.
Yeah.
If you're Walmart, it's a safe bet.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course. Yeah.
And some of the Uno versions do better than other ones. Right. But I was looking at the dice space and thinking to myself, what is there? I mean, ask yourself that question, right? Other than the classics that have been there, so like Boggle is a classic, right? Farkle is a classic. Not much has come along in the last 10 years. So Tenzi, which is just roll the 10 dice until they're all the same, right?
Right.
It's just a fast, no skill, just kind of luck, roll as fast as you can.
Just keep rolling.
But it's done really well. Sky Team, obviously, if you want to call that a dice game, you could call it.
There's a bit more to it, isn't there? But yeah,
a bit more to it. There's a chicken. Oh shoot, what's it called? It's not Chicken Dance, not Chicken Run. It's Chicken. Little Chicken. I can't remember the name of it. But it's doing really well. But there's just not and left, center, right, and a lot of people don't even really consider that like a game left, center, right. Again, there's no skill in left, center, right. You just
just
like a machine could play it. You just move the pieces. So I was looking at that thinking, man, there's space here for more games. So I'm going to have a few more games coming out. Obviously this is a push your luck dice game, right? With elements of Farkle to it. Now this game is like Pirate Yahtzee. Oh, that's the one I forgot. Well, Yahtzee, it's a classic, right? Everybody knows Yahtzee.
Yeah.
There's a reason King of Tokyo uses 6 dice. Six. It's kind of the magic number. It's not an accident. It works well for Yahtzee, but it works well for King of Tokyo. I tried this with different numbers of dice, but there's a sweet spot, right? So you realize, well, why is it 6? Well, try it with 5 and see how it works. Try it with 7, see how it works. 6 for this type of a game, or King of Tokyo works really well. Now notice King of Tokyo, here I'm going down the, I don't know how interesting this is, but if you go on Amazon or somewhere, King of Tokyo is not under dice games. They're just under board games. So I don't need to put this under dice games. I can list it wherever I want because I own the listing.
Yes. Yeah.
But I choose to put it under dice games.
Because there's probably not that many under dice games.
Because it keeps me in the top 100 of all dice games, and we've been as low as in the top 10.
Wow.
So, so is it just a dice game? Is it a pure dice game? Not really, but but how many of them are
95% dice?
Yeah, it is.
That's close enough, I think. Yeah. yeah, no, yeah. It's. I mean, to me, yes, it is. It is a dice game, definitely. You know, it's.
I think so.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, so that's so the inspiration for that one was a little bit on purpose, like looking for dice games. So
yeah.
inspiration can come from just about anywhere. I
Mm.
guess on that one was just a random comment in an email. You never know.
Yeah, but I think in terms of card games as well, because card games are a lot cheaper to produce, it kind of opens it up for people self-publishing a lot more because it's easy. It's a lot cheaper to get a card game produced in China than it is to get a dice game produced. Because I've seen the adverts on AliExpress. You can get or Alibaba. You can get custom card games produced, and they are ridiculously cheap. So I think that is the difference. Why that is one of the reasons there are so many card games, and the market is quite tight, just because they're easier. They're cheaper to make and cheaper to sell, and because they're cheaper to sell, more people are probably inclined to buy them. I might be wrong there because I'm not a board game developer or anything to do with selling board games. But for me, that kind of makes the most sense.
It's interesting to think about it. Dice can be pretty cheap to make once you do the mold.
Right. Because
But you got
obviously
to
the custom dice, that they're not
like
just.
custom dice, like Tenzi doesn't cost very much because they're regular number dice and they just do different backgrounds.
Yeah.
So, like my daughter wants, custom D&D dice, right? They're not that expensive. You
Right.
can get pretty nice sets of D&D dice and those are really custom dice. If you just want regular six-sided dice with different colors and stuff like that, it's not that bad. When you start doing custom dice like King of Tokyo or Booty
Yeah.
Dice, or even ours, our new one, because there's stars on there
Yeah.
and
And the
some of the
numbers.
numbers are circled, right? So each of those has to be custom made. That's a few $1,000s. But the dice itself, once you've got that part figured out, they're not too expensive. I just wonder, if I don't know, it's more likely that people grow up playing card games than dice games,
Yes. Yeah.
right? I mean, if you're a kid, you play Old Maid, you play War, you play Crazy Eights, you play Memory.
Mm.
All these games are card games. All these classic games. There's not a lot of classic kids games that are dice games.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's who knows.
It's interesting though. It is. But yeah, that could be a whole podcast in itself. It really could. So, in terms of expos, you said you were going to Gen Con and Essen. Have you got any others lined up for this year?
So for sure, I would like to go to. I am going to Gen Con. Already got my badge for that, um, and I'm planning to go back to Essen, and I'm planning to do PAX in Philadelphia. That's either late November or early December. And then I wasn't planning on doing anything for the first half of the year, but Flip 7 was nominated for a French award. So I'm going over next week. So there's the award ceremony, but then there's this big French festival.
Oh, while you're there.
And so it's in Cannes. I've never even been to France. So this is really, really cool.
Yeah.
And then I get to do one more trip. Flip 7 has really got me to do some traveling that I wouldn't have otherwise gotten to do. So I'm going to be going to Switzerland the end of March. So the French one, Flip 7, is nominated, but I won't find out if it won until the actual evening of the event.
Pressure.
And then the Swiss award, Flip 7 has won.
Right. Brilliant.
I'm going to get to travel to Switzerland for the very first time, and that's going to be lovely. I'm going to fly in and then take the train to this little famous watchmaking town that I can't pronounce on the border with France, and they also have a little festival there. and they basically advertise it as 55 hours of straight games, like
Oh, wow.
for the whole weekend. So I don't think I can make it 55 hours, but I'll see what I
No,
can do.
you'll try your best. Well, the only thing I've got lined up for this year so far is UK Games Expo, which is the one in the UK. I presume you won't be making an appearance there, which is a shame, but it's a great one, but obviously it's
Is it
nothing compared.
June?
It's the last weekend of May, so it's usually the first weekend in June, but it falls kind of the last weekend in May this year. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the end of May, but it's not as big as Essen, nowhere near. Obviously, nothing is in
Yeah,
Europe.
but I've heard it's a wonderful, wonderful show.
Yeah, it's really good.
One of my game friends, Hazel Reynolds, she runs Gamely Games.
Right.
She's just a wonderful person, and Gamely Games is doing great things, and she's just so much fun to talk to. Um, you know, there's people I would love to see there. I would love to check it out. So I'm not sure if it's going to happen this year, but maybe. But if not,
Maybe
next year.
next year. Yeah. Put it in your diary for next year. We'll see. Well, I think that just brings us about to the end of the podcast. Um, Thank you very much. We're just out of time, unfortunately. I told you we wouldn't get through all the questions. I've still got a bunch of questions that I'd love to ask. Maybe we
Another
could get you back on in a couple of months
Sure.
to get a catch up on how everything's going. Maybe after Gen Con and you've released your games there. So,
That would be great timing.
when
Yeah.
is Gen Con again?
It's that first week in August.
Oh, that's quite a while
Or
away. Yeah, then. Right.
first weekend in August or first week in August, somewhere in there. Yep.
Right. If we can wait that long, we will. But I might have you on before then if that's okay.
Yeah,
We'll see.
let me know
We
anytime.
will. We will. But thank you very much for coming on and good luck with all of your games this year.
Thank you so much. Well, it's been a pleasure.
Yes. You too. Thank you very much.
Take care.